Well, hey, it's Brian G. Johnson. It is fantastic to have you here again on a TubeBuddy live stream. It is so fantastic to have you here. Welcome. Great to see everybody in the crowd, in the house. Welcome, gang. It's great to see you. I'm going to configure all my windows. So here's what I want to talk today about community and really having a bunch of fun. Before that, I want to say again, welcome. It's great to see you here. I'm so excited to share this information with you today because it's allowed me to really propel my channel forward. I want to let you know that this is a TubeBuddy live stream. It happens every Wednesday. Thanks to Phil and Andrew and all the people at TubeBuddy. So great to have you here. And I see lots of people in the house. Chef is in the house. Vegard is here. Hey, Lizzie, what is going on? Glad that you're here, rather. Car Galaxy Studios, welcome. Good to see you. So today we're going to talk about the power of community. And do this. If you're watching now and you're live, share this live stream. Give me a like if you're excited about this live stream. And if you're watching us on the replay, the video on demand, as they call it in the industry, welcome. Great to have you here. Again, we're going to talk about how to build community. Now, I've got about 30 minutes where I'm going to go through and share some information that's really been helpful for me. And then later, we're going to jump in and we're going to get straight into questions and answers. If you've got questions, just know, give me about 25, 35 minutes, and then we'll jump in and we'll answer questions. How does that sound? Again, it's always great to spend time to connect with Andrew. It's all part of the community, and to me, that is what's been really an amazing thing. You know, I couldn't have expected the kind of community, the relationships, the friendships that I've made thanks to YouTube. Before we jump in, I've got a simple question for you today. And that is, can you drive views with social media? Is it possible? What's your experience been? Is it possible? Can you drive those views? I would love to get your feedback. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Yes, it's worked for me. Maybe not so much. I've struggled with trying to truly be able to drive the views and whatnot. Let me know what you think. And furthermore, drop in a comment and let me know what social platform works the best for you. Get an engagement going on up in here. Hey, Pam, great to see you. Kimmy, welcome to the live stream. This is the TubeBuddy live stream. Welcome. Glad to see everybody here. So what do you guys think? Is it possible? Can we drive views? No, never worked for me. And you know, that doesn't surprise me. That the first comment I see is it doesn't really work so great. Kimmy says Instagram, YouTube, for me, Facebook. And that has been my social media platform as well, Texas Gal. I'm using Facebook, says Jeep Informant. Excellent. Not so much, says Doug. I would say Twitter and Reddit have worked best for me. And the fact of the matter is, I don't want you to think for 1 minute that there's one best platform, because without question, there is not. It's really not in the platform. Now, can you? Yes, without question. And that's the goofiest photo. You know, I like to take what I do pretty seriously. I like to really dig into this stuff, but clearly I don't take myself too seriously. You can, without question. In fact, you can drive a lot of views. You can drive a lot of engagement. You can get amazing watch time, and that can propel your video forward if, that's the big word, if, according to Otis and Olive, if you leverage the power of community. And I'm just going to say it, most people do it wrong. If you just share stuff and you don't really have any purpose, behind the share. If all you're doing is trying to get a view to your video, it will never work. But when you start thinking about hanging out in a particular place, whether it's the TubeBuddy forums or a group on Facebook that's really dedicated to what your channel is about, very powerful. So before we get started, I just feel like, it's important that you get to know me a little bit. My name is Brian G. Johnson. I'm a Sagittarius. I don't like black-eyed peas. I've got a culinary degree from France, and my favorite color is green. Oh boy. I just wanted to put those, when you meet the contestant, he's Brian Johnson, he's a Sagittarius. So there you have it. And above all, what I've done for many years is try to figure out this internet stuff. Is it possible to make life-changing income online? And for me, I've been able to drive crazy views, make crazy money, whether it's websites or YouTube. And I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And the thing that I love to do is to help people to share how I've made it happen. That's probably what led me to TubeBuddy, to do these live stream sessions. Long walks on the beach. Andrew, you goof. So that's the thing. I really love hanging out, supporting, sharing what I've learned about making it happen, and then helping other people to do the same. So that's what we're going to cover today. Now, here's what's up. I want to give you some perspective on how I'm able to leverage social media and community to really increase my views. Typically, when I release a video, I drive anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 views per video. 2,000 to 3,000 views. And I want to add, this is really important, in the first 3 days. So I publish a video on Monday, and about Wednesday, Thursday, I've got 2,000 to 3,000 views. Now, take a look at this image here. Here's what's really interesting. This particular video, YouTube algorithm triggering massive channel growth. Now, when I took this screenshot this morning, the video had 8,700 views, but I actually got more than half of those views in the first 3 days, and I owe that to the amazing community. People like Pam that's in the chat right now, people that have been connected to me in the Tuba Ritual group, and so many people really sharing, and I'm going to share today how you can do the same exact thing. So the difference, as I mentioned, is really all about, hey Rose, welcome, good to see you here. So like I was saying, the difference is in community. And when you, instead of thinking about where can I promote my particular video, think about where can I hang out? Where am I going to see the same YouTube creators or the same individuals that are interested in a particular niche? So if you've got a gaming channel and you're a shooter, you play maybe Battlefield. I know there's a new Battlefield game coming out, Battlefield 5, a lot of hype around that. Maybe PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Maybe you create a community for people that love gaming and you hang out there. And when you do that, amazing things start to happen. And really, here's what's crazy. All I did was ask people, hey, tomorrow morning I'm publishing an important video. A video I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, will help YouTubers drive more views. So all I did is ask, hey, would you be willing to share this video? And look, this particular post got 169 comments, and the overall support was tremendous. People like Jean, who said, yes, I would love to share. And in fact, Jean went and shared. And this is Ben Fuzzylugs, and it's actually Pam who changed her YouTube name from Ben McFuzzylugs to Pam, and she shared. So grateful for that. Thank you, Pam. Pam, the thing is, community is we're all in this together. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, again, how you can build your own community so you can get people to share your videos, so you can help and support other people. But before we go on, I just want you to see that this stuff absolutely works. Here is one of the particular videos where I've leveraged this strategy, and you can see I had 26 shares, which really helps quite a bit. Okay, so there you have it. That's the setup. We're talking about community. I showed you some great results, and I want to let you know that now it's your turn. And it doesn't matter if you're just getting started. It doesn't matter if you've got a college degree, if you've got a great equipment setup. You can do this. And I so very much believe in you. Take the time and tell yourself, hey, I can do this too. So I want to let you know we're going to talk about Facebook, but you can leverage these principles whether you're on Reddit or maybe you want to start your own a website and then install some fancy forum software. For me personally, I really think Facebook, a Facebook group, oh, I hear my wife. I just heard the door open. The poodles are in the house. Everything is as it should be. So for me, I think the easiest way and the most effective way to start a group that can have a big impact on your ability to reach people is to start a Facebook group. And the reason why is simple. Number one, a Facebook group allows other individuals to create a message and ask a question. Like literally, this was Carl. And did anybody notice the crazy issues with channel art today? Please let me know in the comments if you immediately started updating your channel art only to think maybe I should slow down. I know I updated my channel art today. And this is why I think a Facebook group makes sense. Now, stay with me. This is super important. A lot of people are into, what's the server technology? I think it starts with a D. Not disk. I can't think of hey, there's Evan Carmichael. Good to see you, Evan. Like I was saying, the thing I really like about Facebook is it allows other people to ask questions, and then other people can come in and respond, and that makes it easy for people to engage with one another. Discord, yeah, it just hit me, and then I looked down, and there's Harley and Andrew. Thank you so much. Discord. I could be wrong. I don't use Discord a lot, but I don't think there's really like threads like this. I'm probably wrong. But for me, another reason why I like Facebook is it's the biggest social media site on the planet. Most people are on Facebook, and that makes it really easy for people to find your group and to sign up, right? So for me, I love the fact that a group means other people can create content. It's hard to create a video. It's easy to post to Facebook, and it's even easier if other people are adding content to a platform, a group that you run, right? That's pretty cool. And you can come in and you can share and you can help people and whatnot. So that's pretty good. Now, if you want to set up your own group, one of the things you want to think about is, again, you want to make it easily accessible for people to find you. So what I did is I went ahead and I created a group and I branded it around my personal brand, which I decided Tube Ritual will be the brand. I wrote a book. I created a Facebook group, and I keep using the same branding to make it easy for people to remember me. So that makes sense. But another thing I did is I also stuck on the end of the group name Video Marketing, and I did that for obvious reasons. So Facebook would know that, hey, this group is about, well, video and YouTube. And another thing I did is I went ahead and I added various keywords to the Facebook group. You can do this inside of the administration and whatnot. And here's a really powerful thing to think about is literally all it takes is just 20 minutes each week. If you've got 20 minutes any day, 5 minutes on Monday, 10 minutes on Wednesday, maybe another 10 minutes on Saturday, and that's actually 25 minutes. We're not talking about a huge investment. You just have to show up, approve some people, add some content, and you want to do it the right way, and that's what we're going to talk about. But a Facebook group really helps people to connect and so on. Now, let's say you're just getting started. One of the things that I see people asking and whatnot is, well, what if I'm just getting started and I don't have a big following? I don't have a lot of people following me on Facebook that know I'm interested in this particular niche, whether it's gaming or real estate. Hey, real estate whisperer, good to see you today. Or maybe it's gardening or how to create a YouTube channel. Well, if people don't know, then maybe another strategy is to join an existing group. And don't think for a minute that that means you can't get some notoriety. Don't think for a minute that that means that you can't leverage this same strategy. In fact, keep watching, because I'm going to share some really powerful strategies that will allow you to not only get your video shared in a huge group, but to have the owner of the group get really excited about it, to promote it, to get other people involved. So we'll talk about that as we move forward. So what the heck should you post in a particular group? Well, above all, an easy way to move forward is to simply share what's happening around your particular niche. That's the news, updates on a new game. Maybe there's a new book coming out. I said hello to the real estate whisperer, and I mentioned real estate. So maybe there's a new book coming out about like selling real estate. Well, that would be a great update. Related information. If you're a gamer, there's always a new game that really captures the minds of gamers. And you have the ability to share that related information. One of the things that's great too is that you don't have to take the time to create the content. A lot of times you can just share it and curate the information. You can take a post, you can take your video or someone else's video, and you can share information in your group. You can share a meme, whether it's inspirational, whether it's funny or humorous. These are all things that you can share. And another thing you can do, and I would encourage you to do, is rather than just thinking about like promoting yourself, support and help other individuals and think about promoting their videos. And this is what I've learned. When you do that, someday someone somewhere will do the same for you. It's kind of how the world works. It's give and take, right? Again, and things that are funny go over big. People love to laugh. You know, life isn't always a bowl of cherries. And when you can take the time and make someone laugh and you add this kind of content, it's really, really powerful. Now, this is important. I mean, it must be important. I've even underlined the word. One of the things you want to do is adhere to what I call the 70-30 rule. 70% of the time, you never want to link out of your Facebook group. Just think about that. I don't want to link out of my Facebook group. And if you follow that simple rule, you're not going to be promoting a product. You're not going to be promoting your own video. The rule is don't link out of Facebook. And that will allow you to share in a way where you're creating content, you're uploading a meme or so on, and it's not so promotional. The idea here is simple. You don't want to always be promoting, and that's what most people do. Instead of promotion, think about sharing in a group you participate in or in a group you run. Now, earlier, I mentioned a little bit about maybe you're just getting started, right? If you're just getting started, there's a lot of power in joining a group that's already established. It takes a while for a group to build momentum, for enough people to come into the group where it's happening, where people can see your video when you do promote, right? When you finally get to that point where you do share your video. Well, if there's only 3 people in there and they don't stop by very often, well, then it's hard to get any traction. So one of the things I mentioned is, why not join an established group? And again, give before you get, meaning think about, as you're sharing information and content, is this good for the group overall? And if it's your video, that's awesome. If you've got a great video that you think fits, awesome. But here's where people will disagree. If you share or publish your video and then you do the same thing the next day and the next day, if you're always publishing your video, you will struggle. Now, here's how to really move forward and to leverage this strategy in someone else's group to get a really big impact. And the idea is simple, is that first you want to establish and you want to get to know the people in the group, right? And as you get to know people in the group, you might think, I want to make a special video about what we're all excited about and passionate in this group. So if it's a group about real estate or gardening, let's say it's gardening, well, you ask the owner of the group, hey, I want to create a community video and I want to take some tips about gardening and I want to create a special video from the community members. Are you good with that? I'd love to mention your group in my video, promote your group. Now that is doing something for the group owner. And at the same time, what would the likelihood be of those people that you included in your video? What would the likelihood be of them sharing? And let's just jump to the chase. Obviously, it's high. And I know this because these are the strategies that I've done. And you want to do it in an authentic way. You want to do it because you're excited to make a video and include people. If it's just, I want to promote, then it's really not going to help too much. So think about these strategies as you move forward and you will go far. And that's kind of the savvy way, as I like to think about it, to include other people. Now, lastly is live streaming. Live streaming in community. And I think we're about getting close to being done on the slides. Let me see here. Let's see here. Yes, we are. Let's do this. I feel like connecting with you guys and saying hello. So I'm just going to look at kind of these slides and I'm going to share a little bit about how you too can leverage live streaming to grow your audience in the same way. And this community thing, it's very, very powerful, right? We can create a Facebook group. We can create a website. We can add on a forum to that. You can leverage someone else's Facebook group. All of these things really work. And one of the things, hello, real estate whisperer. One of the things you can do is to also incorporate live streaming into your YouTube content creation plan. And I really want to talk about this for a bit because I believe that if you want to make significant money, if you want to make a car payment every month with YouTube, if that's your plan, live streaming is something you may want to think about. Maybe you want to make a house payment. Totally doable. Stake your claim. You got it, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Andrew says before we focused on the community, we struggled. And then we changed things around. We started focusing on community and we've had great results. So like I was saying, live streaming is great. And here's why. Number one, it's really a community driver. It allows other people to connect and share. Just like right now, I wanted to come on and, look at the comments and engage and go off script. And it's community then. In other words, Andrew's comment really impacted this live stream together and so on. And that's the power of really community. It's all of us sharing, helping, supporting one another. And that's one of the key things I want you to think about is it's not your community. It's not like I'm going to build a group so I'm the leader. Instead, if you kind of flip that a little bit to like, I want to create community and I want to be a part of that community, and I want to foster the growth, but it's all of our community. I'm thinking about, I saw a comment about Nick Nimmin, and I'm thinking about Andrew, and I'm thinking about the different companies I work with. All of these are parts of our community. So it's pretty powerful. Another thing that's really awesome about live streaming is that it allows us to do that, like I said, because there's a lot of engagement going on. There's questions, there's answers. So you can facilitate that by just deciding, how do you live stream? A lot of people have asked me. Poodle. We've got they're building a house right over here. Hopefully it doesn't go too crazy. And it's been pretty loud, obviously. The dogs freak out when they hear stuff. But basically, how do you live stream? A lot of people have asked me that time and time again, like, hey, how can I live stream? First of all you need is, and I'm looking around like, where's my mobile phone? You can live stream with a mobile phone, and that's a really great way to get started, because all you need to do to get started is hit a few buttons. It's a lot less intimidating. There's a lot less to learn, and it will get you up and running. Now, one of the things you can do is to share in your schedule that you live stream once a week. So I publish on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I live stream on Friday. And in fact, if we, let's see here, move some things around. And let's see if I can transition this. Unfortunately, my Stream Deck decided to break earlier, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, where I have to press buttons. So let's jump to, let's open another window here, and let's see. I am logged into my account, so my channel. So one of the things I would really encourage all of you here is to have a schedule. So let me ask you, do you have a schedule? Have you committed to publishing on a regular basis? I'd love to know. Leave me a comment. I'm curious. And if you're a little bit nervous about that, I get that. But it does give people a sense of like, hey, you're going to be around. You're going to be publishing regularly. And it's super, super powerful. And when you look here at, now we'll hit the button again. Again, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. You can see my channel art has got Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And again, like I said, I live stream on Fridays. So having that schedule and just mentioning that, you can mention it in a video. You can mention it in your description, right? Your YouTube channel or your YouTube description. You can just simply say, hey, I live stream on Friday. I upload on Tuesday and Thursday, or whatever your days are. Super powerful. And as you get started, so one of the tips I shared was really to get started and keep it simple. Just have a very basic setup. And then as you progress, maybe add different elements. So I say, I use Stream Deck, but it's not working today. But that does help me, and it adds functionality. I actually got the lighting set up for my live streaming. I wanted to have a certain look. And then I ended up getting a few more lights, and I use those today now as well for my videos. But I always keep it simple first, early on, and then it helps me to, where's Keynote? App Store. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So there you have it. So let's see what else I have here. So start simple, like I said, regular schedule. Oh, you want to engage users. And by the way, this tip works for all YouTube stuff across the board. It also works if you've got a website or a Facebook group. Really make it easy for people to engage. If you want comments on your YouTube videos, ask really, really simple questions that will help you to get more comments, because it's really easy and simple. Yes. And what to expect. One of the things I want to mention is a lot of times I think when people get started with live streaming, that just got awkward, Andrew. What the heck? um, like I was saying, so, when we get started, whether it's with videos or live streaming, as far as the engagement, you've got to have a pretty active live stream to get a lot of engagement, to get a lot of comments, and it's hard to get the ball rolling early. So know that going in. Just like it is with YouTube, like getting those views is a challenge, right? But once we do, it gets easier and easier. It's kind of how it is. So keep those expectations in line. And what was this? Yeah, that was the schedule. And I think that was about it. So I want to share, let's talk a little bit more about the whole group thing. And I'm just jumping to Facebook. And I also will mention, I'm going to jump to TubeBuddy here as well. And then we'll take questions and whatnot. Features, community. There we go. Bam. So, like I said, TubeBuddy's got a great community as well. And I've stopped in here several times, and you can just go to the community here and then to forums, and that will open up the forums. And like I said, there's no reason why you can't create your own website, as long as you've got the technical know-how to do that and make that happen. And for that reason, that's why I really like Facebook, is it's pretty simple. Literally, you can have a group set up in just a few minutes of your time, and then over time you can grow that community. But this is really a great place to hang out. And another thing I'll mention is when we talk about community, I think it would really be smart for you to think about two communities. Number one, have a community like the community you're experiencing right now. Really about how to grow on YouTube, learning about YouTube, getting to know other creators, maybe going to VidCon. I can't wait to hang out with Andrew and Nick Nimmin, and Dee's going to be there to see Phil, and Roberto Blake's going to be speaking, and just hang out with some of my pals. That's going to be fantastic. So that community is great to learn the nuts and bolts of like how to do it to be able to get where you want to go, right? At the same time, let's say you've got a cooking channel. Well, then you want to create a community for people that are really interested in cooking. Is Dusty in the house? I saw someone say, Andrew mentioned Dusty. I don't know if that's the Dusty I know. But anyway, no Dusty. Anyway, I'm like reading and commenting and leading. And so these are some things to think about, right? Start your own community, and you want to get people that are really interested in what your videos are about to watch. If you like, hey, go watch my video, and you're sharing that on a TubeBuddy forum, the people aren't going to be as excited as they would be a forum about cooking or whatever your niche is about. So these are some things to think about. People don't care about food. Daniel, I'm pretty sure they do. Oh, wait a minute. I think you've got, yours is weird food though. Yours is semi-food, but not really. I need to send something to you, speaking about community, because I know about this hot sauce. I got my own hot sauce, but that's for another time and place. So these are some things really about community. Let's go back here. So when it comes to the Facebook thing, so you can see Roberto Blake, he's got his a group, and it's for one of his paid products. So that's a great add-on. If you've got a product, you can create a private group for members. That's awesome. I've got the Tube Ritual community here, and this is free. And for me, it's just really a place to be able to connect. And like Trisha here has a question that we addressed and whatnot. Another question from Desiree, and a lot of people being able to connect and so on. And for me, that's what's so very awesome. And furthermore, like I said, is you get to support and help other people. And sometimes people will want to help you too. So the whole idea for me about community is that we're in this together. And I always I've talked about this lately in my live stream and in some of my videos and in the groups that I participate in. The community is awesome, and I'm so glad to be a part of our community and be able to hang out with you. So thank you so much for that. So that's it for the presentation. I want to let you know, like, when you start to build up your community and people really love what you share, that's the goal, is you want to share. You want to share really great content that makes people go, wow, I'm really glad that person shared that. For whatever reason, it's newsworthy, it's something they didn't know, it's super helpful. When you do that enough, people will share your videos again and again. It's just taking the time to ask and doing it in a way that makes sense. I actually am going to create a video in the coming weeks about that promotional method. When you've got a group, how do you ask people to and do it in a way that gets the best result? So pretty awesome, and it was that was fun for me to share. Let's see if I can find. I've got about 1,000 windows open right now. Maybe it's here. There we go. I'm gonna move this. Give me 1 second here, gang, and we'll do some Q&A. Anyone got any tips for my channel? Icon Wolf, why don't you ask a question, and then we can respond. And furthermore, Andrew will share a link. You can ask the question in the official Q&A document. I'm pulling that up right now, by the way. Uno momento. Okay, first question. Looks like this is India Wild Films. Oh boy, this is, I don't understand your question. How can you enter small playlist of some kind of heading in video like, yeah, that's rough. Individual. Here we go. Okay, first question here. Oh, we just got a new question. Oh, and there's maybe another one. Every time I get oh my goodness, every time it updates, it scrolls. I only have, oh boy. Every time I try to read it, it pops open. Let's see if I can do individual again. How do I, oh, there's the number 2. Okay, this will probably work better. Yeah, I'm on individual now. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. So first question, I only have 80 subscribers, and I'm going to move some things around here so I look more at the camera as I read. I only have 80 subscribers. I've tried to be active on platforms like Reddit, which is where most of my views come from, but I haven't created a real following. How do you even start? How do you cultivate active watchers? Like I said, I think the first answer to this, a great question, by the way, and this is the struggle, right? The first question is to be realistic. It takes time early on. It's like, you know, like, have you ever seen that analogy of rolling a snowball? And hopefully there we go. Have you ever seen that analogy of rolling a snowball up the hill? And it's very hard early on. You're pushing up a hill, and then you crest the hill, and it starts to roll on its own, and the snowball becomes huge. It's like that in building a community on Reddit or on Facebook. It's like that building a YouTube channel. The first thing you have to do is you've got to show up and participate. you don't have to create all this content yourself, but do share and also comment, engage with other people. So if you're in a subreddit, that's the first thing to do, is to show up repeatedly at the same place. Okay? A lot of people have this idea, and their whole idea about getting views is they're thinking, I want my video to show up across hundreds, millions of places, tens of thousands of places online. And the problem with that is nobody really gets to know you, because if you've got to share your video all across the web, you don't have time to spend anywhere. And if people don't get to know you, they really don't care. But if you choose a particular community, you can join that community and participate in it and let people get to know you over time, and then maybe start your own community. So that's how you get the ball rolling. You've got to share consistently, like I shared in this presentation. You want to share often, and most of the time it shouldn't be your video. I share my own videos probably 30 to 40% of my posts at the most. I'm pretty close to that 70-30 rule. And I've also established myself. Like, I've got a following. People like what I share. They trust what I share. And early on, I always really focus on what the viewers want. And if it's always your own video, it'll be a tough time. So just, and I see the name here is Ron Baum. So Ron, just share a lot of content and also comment on other people's content. This is huge, by the way. Let's see if I can move this over here. And then where was I want to move that there. I want to see the comments you guys are dropping in real time. So that's a really big part of this entire thing, is you've got to show up and you've got to engage with other people. Reply to someone's question. When you do that, people will get to know you and they'll be more likely to watch and click your video. It's just how it works. Okay, next question. And there we go. Number 3. How do I find nearby YouTubers to collab with? One of the things I would suggest for that, and that is for Everyone HD. So for everyone, what you can do is see if there's a meetup near your town. Okay, so I know that there's a YouTuber meetup in Denver. I know there's a bunch of YouTubers in Denver. So that might be something I would be willing to do, because I live maybe an hour and a half away from Denver. So once a month, I can drive up to Denver, hang out for an afternoon, and get to know people. And I would always suggest that if you want to collaborate, awesome. But before you think about collaborations, just get to know people. Just like, I want to make friends with YouTubers. And when you take that approach, when you find the right person, the collaboration will be so much better. So think about that. And I think you'll have a good time in the process. Hey, Box Vines, what's going on? Good to see you. Hey, Joe, welcome to the live stream. Chef Lion in the house, chatting and whatnot. I love seeing you guys engage and chat and support each other. That's very cool. Next question. The next question comes from Sackboy. I think Sackboy, I said hello to you on this live stream. Is there any way to get a whole community of people to your channel? Yeah, just like I said, the best way to do that is to build up your credibility. And that's like, let me make this YouTube talk. The best way to do that is to hang out and chat and get to know people. And you want to do that in the right group. So think about, if you've got a gaming channel, find a community on Reddit that is really excited about the game you love to play, and keep showing up at that place and chat and talk with people. If someone's got a question, answer them. It doesn't take long, and when you do that over time, then ask the mod of the Reddit group, hey, can I share a video? In fact, I'd love to create a video that features some of the users. Would that be cool to do? And the users that you feature would be more likely to, like I just shared earlier. Like, that is how you do it. See, most people think along these lines. How can I get all these people to come watch my video? You don't know who they are. That's a problem. Think of it like this. if someone posts their video right now in the TubeBuddy stream, do you really care? Do you want to run off and click it? No, you don't. But when people get to know and like people, it changes everything. So just hang out in the same spot, and then over time, you will build a following. That's how to build a following. Okay? Okay, that was question number 4. Cheers to that. Visual Snaps ask, what are some tips to increase watch time? Really great question. I can't seem to get more than 1 minute and 15 seconds of average watch time. I can't tell if it's my content or another factor. It's always our content, right? I mean, if someone's watching a video and they click off the video, it's because they're bored. Now, if they watch a video for 20 minutes and they click off and they're bored, you did a great job. But at 1 minute, I would say absolutely you need to work to improve that. It's not bad. First off, the common question that a lot of people are thinking about is, hey, well, what's a good, hey, V, what is going on? Good to see you, my friend. What's a good retention rate? And the only thing that matters is where your retention is at. And what you want to beat is, let's say you're trying to rank for Deadpool reaction. That's something that V might create a video on. I think Deadpool was a movie, and that's kind of how it would work. So you'd want to think about, what is the retention of the ranking videos? What is the watch time metrics? The best way to increase your retention, Visual Snaps, is to really edit out as much fluff as possible. You can do Casey Neistat. Earlier I had a slide with Casey Neistat, and Casey said a great video is born in the edit. And I can tell you, low latent stream. Hey, that's cool. I dig it. Sounds pretty fancy. Yeah, like I was saying, Casey Neistat, a great video is born in the edit. And I've been really serious now on YouTube for just over 2 years. And I can tell you that my editing skills are a lot better than they used to be. And my videos are a lot tighter. They're better edited. And also my delivery on camera. So here's another tip. Before you film, make sure you've got kind of a simple outline for the video you want to create. No matter what kind of video it is, but you're like, I'm a gamer, I just film my gameplay. Well, you can still come up with an idea, right? Like, you don't need to have a ton of content. Like these are some of my notes, just a few lines, a few bullet points, maybe a few screenshots, and that will help you to film and capture better footage. So another question I have, if you want to focus on improving your retention, is, are you doing multiple takes when you're capturing footage for your gameplay, or else you're filming yourself or you're vlogging? Very rarely can someone do one take and it's amazing. So take the time to do multiple takes. You want to say what you want to say very clearly in the least amount of time. Now, does that mean the video should be short? No, it just means you want to share what you want to share in the least amount of time. So if it's a really in-depth video about some like algorithm thing, that's something I would do. It might take a 15-minute video to cover that, but I'm going to cut out as much as possible. So these are the things you can do to improve your audience retention. Thank you for the question, Visual Snaps. Autofocus 24/7. How to branch out to all creatives and photographers. My community is based on the phrase life, learning, and the pursuit of photography. So again, a lot of people asking, hey, how can I grow and reach a community of people? And the best way is to think about setting up shop. So let me do this. I'm not going to go back. I already showed you my Facebook group. I showed you the forum that TubeBuddy has. Think about this, right? So you want to set up shop and you want to make it a place that people love. If you're just getting started and you don't have a following, then join an already established community and just hang out and just be helpful. And don't always share your video, especially if it's not your own group, but over time, then you may want to do that now and then. And that's really the difference between like promoting and being a part of a group of people. And when you do that, then over time, people will dig what you're about. They'll appreciate your input. And then if you're like, oh, by the way, I've got this cool video, you'll be surprised at the difference in people wanting to view it. So that's really the best way to go about that. Hope you found that helpful. Autofocus 24/7. Hey, there's a question from your real estate whisperer. Should you not live stream on the days when you publish? I post on Tuesday, Friday, and I live stream on Friday night. Yeah, I would change that myself. I think what you want to do is you want to give a video room to breathe. When a video goes out, the first 24 hours are really important. There are two parts to doing really well when it comes to a YouTube video. Number one, YouTube wants to see that there is a group of people that are really interested. You heard us, we're talking about velocity, right? Video velocity. Hey, what's your video velocity? That's the amount of views you're able to drive in the first 24, 48, or 72 hours. Those first few days are critical. So if you were to move your live streaming day to maybe Monday, then when you publish your video on Friday, it's got the entire weekend to accumulate views before you publish something else. If you're publishing and going live on the same day, that's something that I wouldn't do. So definitely think about that. Really great question. So thanks for asking, my real estate whispering friend. Okay. I am sitting really funny in my chair today. Where is my next question? Who is it? It's from Black Sheep. Hey, Black Sheep, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the question. How big should my channel be before I live stream for the first time? I think you can live stream with 10 subscribers. No problem. The thing to think about is this, that if you're live streaming, you're practicing your ability to clearly communicate a message that will serve you well, right? So right there, I was really careful not to say or ah. In fact, I don't think I've said that at all during this live stream. I might have paused. It might not have been a perfect live stream, but I definitely have improved quite a bit. Brian, what? Brian G. cooking with Brian? I don't know what you guys are chatting about, but it sounds like fun. So like I said, I think it's totally fine to live stream as much as you want. And just know that when you've got a small channel, there might not be a lot of people there. And that's okay. In fact, I want to share, guys, can I share something with you that I think is so important? In fact, can we do a scientific study right now? If you're in for a scientific study, give me a heck yeah. I would love to do a scientific study. This is really important information here. I need a sip of water. I need to sit down twice. I'm already sitting down, but this is serious. Just let me know if you want to participate. Yes, I've got one yes. Sure. Groovy. Heck yes. Heck yes. Okay, so keep it coming, gang. And how many people do we have here? There's too many things to look at. All I can do is focus on talking well. Let me know how many people are here. Hit the thumbs up button. And here's my question. I need you to be honest, and I'll be honest too. I'm going to ask a very simple question, and are you going to be honest? Can you provide a very simple answer and be honest? Now, I'm going to be, Brian Johnson, pledge allegiance to the house of YouTube, the YouTube gods, indivisible for the Republic, and TubeBuddy for all. Okay. So how do you feel about where your channel is at right now? Like, are you happy about your channel? Are you excited about where things are at? Are you excited about the possibility? Or do you sometimes struggle a little bit with where your channel's at? I'd love to know. It's good. I struggle a little bit. I'm always happy. I'd love to know. And here's what I kind of came up with, and I want to get your answers before I share. I am so pumped about 114 subs. That is awesome. Way to go. Very, very awesome. Oh my goodness. Just broke 20K. Nice. Yes, I am, but I feel I could do better. Excited about the future, but struggling at the moment. Yep, me too. Struggling, excited, whisper, good for me, excited for it, Real Estate Whisperer. I'm excited, but want more. Be a Man TV. I'm excited, just hit 4K. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. 4K, fist bump, bam. I'm happy where I'm headed. That's awesome. Dan, cool. So here's the thing. One of the things that I've seen with a lot of creators is that I feel like YouTube over time, sooner or later, YouTube like latches on and hacks into your brain, and it's just not ever quite enough. And I think it's super, super important to create some success metrics. And for me, when I thought about this today, it really changed the paradigm. And I saw Owen sharing the same kind of stuff. He was kind of bummed out about his channel a week or two ago. So check it out. Like, what does YouTube success mean to you? And what you've got to do is you've got to attach some things that are not dependent. It's not just subscribers. So for me, when I started out with my YouTube channel, I wanted to write a book. I wanted to work with people. I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to share ideas. I wanted to publish videos. I wanted to create creative content. I wanted to be able to make money. I wanted to do coaching. I wanted to work with companies. And the fact of the matter is that, like, I'm doing all of those things, and I'm doing them well. I work with TubeBuddy. I'm getting paid for this live stream. That is simply amazing to me. And at the same time, I work with Morning Fame. Amazing. I've done collaborations for other companies. I've gotten paid. And that tells me that what I set out to do, I'm totally achieving right now. So I think it's really important for you to think about what success means to you for your YouTube channel beyond subscribers. And when you do that and you take the time to say, hey, what am I trying to achieve? And it's more than just the subscribers. I think at that point, you've got something to aim for. And as you start achieving that, it makes you feel, you can see that, hey, this is the success I was after. So, and the reason I got here was based on, like, how big of a channel do I need to live stream? And the fact is, you can live stream with no subscribers. And when you live stream, it will give you a chance to practice. Practice is good. That's why actors practice their lines. It's why a rock and roll band will practice their performance for days and days. So when they hit the stage, they look like badasses because they practiced. And this whole idea that we're going to publish some videos and it's just going to boom, I think that's crazy. So I'd love for you to think about, what does it mean to be successful? What is that success going to look like? And think about removing this number that gives you that validation. Like, the subscribe count is important, but there's so much more beyond that. Okay, let's do a few more questions. Did I see Cricket? Hey, Cricket, what's going on? System collapse. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. Pam, hang in there. I've been struggling a bit too. I dropped below the 2K, and that was the thing. You know, I've been publishing more videos, and I still am going down. But here, one of the things that I saw, and check this out, guys. I think this is interesting. You've got your channel. Think about 5 channels that do something similar to what you're doing, have been doing it longer, and have a bigger audience, and then go to Social Blade and look at the growth, and I bet you it's not going to be a perfect straight line. There's ups and downs, there's peaks and valleys, and there hasn't been one single channel, not one channel, not even a teeny channel, that has had a perfectly straight line. It's interesting, the views on these big channels that I've studied, the views kind of are pretty steady and usually climb upward, but then the subscriber growth goes like this on almost every channel that I've studied. So that's something that you can do too to really balance out that internal subscriber fight thing. Okay, that was my big awakening that I've had in the last few days. A couple more questions, because that's what we're doing now when I'm not going off script, because I can, because this is what live streaming is all about. How do you keep retention up for videos? So we already covered that once, Joe. This question comes from Joe. Another thing you can do is be really careful to script out. And you might be like, oh, I don't want to write my videos. You don't have to, but you do want to have a certain structure. Take the time to think about what's the big message I want to share. And the fact of the matter is every single video that's published to YouTube has one central core kind of idea or message, right? And when you take the time to understand what that is, and then you create a few bullet points that will allow you to convey that message clearly, well then those bullet points will guide you. So really think about that. Another thing you can do to really improve your audience retention is to make sure you structure your videos in the proper way. There's absolutely a right way and a wrong way to start a video. Let's say, I think I mentioned gaming and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Let's say I was going to do a tutorial on the best places to land in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The first thing is the hook. So it's like, hey, in this video, I'm going to share this secret spot that I've landed and I've gotten so much loot. You're going to love this. Stay tuned. So literally in 8 seconds, think about this. This is super important. If you want better retention, which by the way is the fuel that allows little baby channels to grow up and be big daddy channels and mama channels, is audience retention. Now, when you take the time to script out like we're talking about, it'll be a much better video. So think about what happens for the viewer. You're like, I'm going to make a video about the best places to loot or land or parachute in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And you should do keyword research on all 3 of those items. Do you ever think about that? It's all the same thing, where to parachute, where to loot, or where to land. All the same thing, but different keywords. Some are easier than others. Then they see the thumbnail. So you make the video, you make a thumbnail, your video ranks, and then the viewer's thinking, I hope this is a good video and I get what I want. So what do they want? They want to learn where to land, where to loot. And as soon as the video starts, bam, that's the hook. Super important. Then when that's done, you pitch your channel for 10 seconds. Hey, by the way, I play a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and I've got some great strategies that'll help you get a chicken dinner. Subscribe for more. Bam, short, to the point, and give them a reason why. And then after that, get right into the content and cut out as much stuff as possible. So we've talked about retention twice. Joe, that is my second tip for you today. Take the time to make sure you're doing those scripts, which can be just bullet points. You can write it out, even if you're doing gameplay, even if it's just like Let's Play. Think about doing something fun in a Let's Play, and then don't just call it a Let's Play. Hopefully you get the idea. On to the next question. Tokyo Drew, if you had to pick one thing on being consistent, what would it be? Thumbnails, titles, content, upload schedule, all of it. I'm not going to adhere to your rules because I get a live stream and it's all super important. Do it all. Be consistent. with your schedule. Create a schedule, adhere to that, and pay attention to the thumbnail style. Create your own style. And if you do that, you're going to do better. It's like the most successful channels do all of those things consistently. And that's why I don't want to pick one. So something to think about. Great question. Being consistent is huge. If I had to choose just one, it would be that. Because then you're publishing videos. And the fact of the matter is a lot of people, they give up before the magic happens. Don't do that. Next question. Sip of water. This question comes from Anderson Business Advisor. Thanks for hanging out in the TubeBuddy stream. Oh, too late. Please don't mention our company channel name if possible. I apologize. It's kind of like reading from the top down. Yeah. Is there a way to get cost per click data using TubeBuddy? I don't believe so. Is it okay to upload promotional videos of, say, events we have coming up, or is that too salesy? Okay, so the question is, can you get CPC data? I don't believe you can. I don't think it's available. And can you upload promotional videos? Absolutely, and you should. The problem is when you only upload promotional videos. If that's all you upload, people will grow tired of that. It's like tuning into a commercial after a commercial. And I'm not talking about Super Bowl commercials. I'm just kind of talking about like, man, crappy commercial. You don't want to do that. You've got to add value. But maybe every 15th video or every 10th video, promote something for sure. Absolutely. Thanks for the question. Sorry about the company name. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal, so it shouldn't be an issue. Ion Prime. Is it true when making videos to keep attention, you need something more than what you are filming about? Example, a gaming channel has gameplay, but it could have something else on the screen, like some sort of animation. No, not at all. That is one of the methods that's used often to keep engagement high. But think about this. Steve Martin or Chris Rock, he can go keep an audience engaged for an hour, but he's really honed his act. You can be incredibly engaging yourself, but if you're doing gameplay, this is what typically happens. So it's a great question, and I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do. Too many gamers are kind of lazy, and they film a bunch of stuff, and they don't edit. And you want to take the time to find the cool parts. Tell an engaging story. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Let's go back to that again. There was a video that was created about like terrorism, and the guy was blowing up motorcycles and killing players, and it sounds violent, and it is, but it's how I like to relax. Crazy. But it was really different. It was an interesting take. It's not how most people play the game, but that is super, super interesting. So the very best thing you can do is take out the very best gameplay that you have and learn to edit it to add those animations. You want to spend some time to add those animations, to add interest, but don't go overboard, okay? Because you could be focused on your next video, and sometimes it's easy to go overboard and spend literally 2 weeks working on one video. You don't want to go that far either. It's really a balance of all these things. So I hope you found that helpful. And I think, looks like that's about it. We did it. We did it. So guys, I hope you found that to be helpful. Let me move a few things around. We're going to wrap up. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. I'm moving my OBS toolbar around from monitor to monitor, and they have different resolutions. So the views look very different. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I had a ball. It was excellent to see you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for participating. I thought I saw D. Nimmin. I did not. Hey, Victor. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Git, Good, Reviews. What is going on? Good to see you, my friend. Daniel, you're welcome. Good to see you. Cricket, bam. Hey, Cricket, hope to see you at the Social Media Day Denver. I'll be speaking at that. It would be good to meet you in person. Autofocus 24/7, you are welcome. So, hey, do this. Listen, you can absolutely grow a channel. Whatever your goal is on YouTube, whatever you're striving to do, you can do it. I believe in you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time with the total hand fade. Did you see that? That was pretty sneaky. All right. I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah.